Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sacred Season Healing. I'm so grateful you're here. Today's reading is a collective emotional healing and personal growth tarot reading. Okay, together we'll explore what your soul is healing, what emotional patterns are ready to be released, and the guidance Spirit has for your next steps on your healing journey. Okay, as always, this is a collective reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Trust your own intuition above all else, because Spirit may have a unique message just for you. Okay, if this reading supports you today, I would truly appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this channel with someone else who may need this message. Let's take a deep breath, set your intention, and let's begin. Spirit, what emotional energy or wound is most ready to be acknowledged and healed at this time? Thank you, Spirit. What emotional energy or wound is most ready to be acknowledged and healed at this time? Okay, we got the Lover's card, the Three of Swords, and Strength. Okay, is there anything else, Spirit? Oh, that one wants to stick out, the Four of Wands, but we'll put it back in. It didn't come out. This next question I would like to ask Spirit is, what is the deeper root or emotional pattern that has been contributing to this healing journey? What is the deeper root or emotional pattern, Spirit? Please show us clearly. Thank you. Okay, the Magician. The Devil. Anything else, Spirit? Okay, the Four of Cups, the Empress, and the Nine of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, the next question I'd like to ask Spirit is, what healing energy, strength, or gift is already emerging within the collective that will support this emotional healing? What healing energy, okay, Ace of Wands, strength or gift is already emerging within the collective that will support this emotional healing? We already have the Ace of Wands. Let's see if Spirit has anything else to add to that. The World card. Anything else, Spirit? The Eight of Pentacles. Anything else? Okay, very good. All right, let's take a look at the message here. Okay, so the first question, what emotional energy or wound is most ready to be acknowledged and healed? And we got the Lovers, the Three of Swords, and the Strength card. Okay, so the emotional wound that's ready to be healed is the pain surrounding a significant relationship, or it might even be an important choice that led to heartbreak. Okay, the Lovers isn't only about romance. It also represents like deep soul connections, values, and choices. So for many of you, this could absolutely be a romantic relationship, but for others, it could be a friendship, family relationship, or any connection that deeply affected your heart. Okay, the Three of Swords confirms that grief and disappointment, betrayal even maybe, or emotional pain that that has been carried for long enough, you know. And I think Spirit is bringing in the Strength card to remind you that your healing isn't about pretending the pain never happened. It's more like it's about discovering just how strong you've become because you walk through it. Your compassion, resilience, and courage are becoming greater than the wound itself, you know. And then we asked, what is the deeper root or emotional pattern that has been contributing to this healing journey? And we have a whole slew of cards here, 6 of them. We have the Magician, the Devil, the 4 of Cups, the Empress, the 9 of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. So, excuse me, the Magician and the Devil together, okay? These two together. They often point toward forgetting your own power, because that's what the Magician represents. And you might have forgotten your own power because you become attached to fear or old stories, limiting beliefs, unhealthy dynamics, or emotional dependence on someone else, okay? So the 4 of Cups, because you've been so focused on what was lost, right? She's looking down at the cups down here. You've struggled to recognize that Spirit has been trying to place one in front of you up here, okay? But here's the good news. Spirit wants you to remember who you truly are. You're the Empress. The Empress reminds you that you are already worthy, you're abundant, you're loving, and enough, exactly the way you are, okay? And the 9 of Wands, it says, well, basically it acknowledges that you've been through a lot. You're tired. You fought many emotional battles. But guess what? You're still standing. You know, it's not the 10 of Wands. It's the 9. You still got something left in you, okay? And the Wheel of Fortune, it tells us that this difficult cycle is coming to an end. Life is beginning to move again. New opportunities, new experiences, and new blessings are waiting for you, right? As you release what no longer belongs in your story, those new opportunities are going to come, okay? You just have to believe in that. And then we ask Spirit what healing, energy, strength, or gift is already emerging within the collective. And we got the Ace of Wands, the World, and the 8 of Pentacles, okay? All right. I really love these cards together because, excuse me, I'd say that Spirit is showing that your healing gift, okay, the gift that's being revealed to you right now is your ability to begin again, okay? The Ace of Wands. Because it brings fresh inspiration, renewed passion, creativity, motivation, and excitement for what's ahead of you, okay? And the World card here, it confirms that you've successfully completed a major chapter in your life. So while it may not have felt like a victory at the time, Spirit sees it as a graduation, okay? The 8 of Pentacles reminds you that your greatest investment right now is in yourself, okay? Every day you choose healing, learning, growing, and becoming a healthier version of yourself, you're creating the life you've been asking for, okay? I'm going to repeat that because I think that's important for us to keep in our mind, okay? And truly believe this, okay? Your greatest investment right now is in yourself. Take care of yourself. And just remember that every day that you're choosing healing over, just reminiscing and going back through all those old conversations, old memories, or whatever had played out in the past here that hurt you. If you choose your healing path, okay, focus on yourself, choose your healing path. Everything you've learned, the lessons, how you've grown and become a healthier person, because of it. A healthier version of yourself. I shouldn't say person. Just remember, when you're doing that, you're creating the life that you've been praying for, probably, right? Or asking for, or even the one that you envisioned back here. But it didn't come to fruition, and that's okay. It just means something better is coming. Okay? Okay. So before we move into the second half of today's reading, I'd like to invite you to pause just for a moment and reflect on what has come through so far. Sometimes healing begins simply by becoming aware of what we've been carrying. So I want to give you a few journal prompts. You can reflect on them later after the video if you like. Okay, so here's the first question. What emotional pain or experience am I finally ready to release? Where have I forgotten my own power or worth? What old belief or attachment is keeping me connected to the past? How have my challenges made me stronger? What new chapter am I being invited to begin? What is one small way I can choose myself this week? Okay? I hope those help you, And you can just sit and meditate on those one question at a time, or whichever ones speak to you. Or you can journal about them, okay? And trust your intuition. Your answers are inside of you. So if this reading is resonating with you so far, I'd truly appreciate it if you'd like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone else who may need this message at this time. Your support helps this community continue to grow, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Okay, so let's move into now the next half of our, reading here. Okay, but before we do, let's take a moment let's save that for the end. I'll go ahead and save that for the end. So we'll just go ahead and jump in and ask Spirit. I'd like to ask him some more questions. The first one I'd like to ask is, what truth, healing, perspective, or shift in mindset will help the collective continue moving forward? What truth, healing, perspective, or shift in mindset will help the collective continue moving forward, Spirit? Please show us clearly. Truth, healing, perspective, or shift in mindset. Please show us clearly. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. Okay. I'd also like to ask Spirit, what is the most important message that Spirit wants us as a collective to remember as we continue our emotional healing journey? Okay. So Spirit, what is the most important message you want the collective to remember as they continue their emotional healing journey? Most important message. Thank you. Anything else? Okay, we got the Eight of Cups. And finally, what blessing, transformation, or new emotional chapter is likely to unfold as the collective continues choosing healing and personal growth? Please show us clearly, Spirit, what blessing, transformation, or new emotional chapter is likely to unfold. Show us clearly, Spirit. Okay, the Two of Cups. Okay, We've got the Two of Cups here. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on here. So we asked Spirit what truth or healing perspective or shift in mindset will help the collective to continue moving forward. And we got the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. Okay. So I think Spirit is asking the collective to recognize that a brand new opportunity is trying to enter your life. Okay. With the Ace of Pentacles here, it represents a solid, grounded new beginning. And it's one that has the potential to grow into something lasting. Okay. But the Four of Pentacles reminds us that after experiencing heartbreak or disappointment, it's natural to become guarded. Sometimes we hold on so tightly to what happened that we unintentionally close ourselves off from what's trying to come in. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then with the High Priestess here, the High Priestess encourages us to find balance between protecting our heart and keeping it open. Okay, just trust your intuition. Your inner wisdom has grown through everything you've experienced. You have to trust that. And it will help you recognize what is truly meant for you and what isn't. You no longer have to operate from fear. You can operate from discernment. Okay? All right. Then we asked Spirit, what is the most important message Spirit wants the collective to remember as they continue their emotional healing journey? I think this is beautiful because Spirit left it pretty simple here for us today. With the Eight of Cups, I think this is about choosing yourself. It's about walking away from emotional situations, or relationships, or beliefs, or patterns that no longer align with the person you're becoming. Okay? So walking away doesn't mean the experience wasn't meaningful. It means you've learned what you needed to learn. And now your soul is calling you towards something healthier, more peaceful, and more aligned with your highest good. Trust that what you're leaving behind is making space for what you're truly meant to receive. Okay? Okay. And then we asked Spirit what blessing, transformation, or new emotional chapter is likely to unfold as the collective continues choosing healing and personal growth. And I absolutely love this. I teared up almost when this came out. The Two of Cups, it represents healthy, balanced, mutual relationships built on trust, respect, and emotional reciprocity. For many of you, this could absolutely represent a new romantic relationship entering your life when the timing is right. But for others, it could be a meaningful friendship, a business partnership, reconciliation where it's healthy, or even a deeper relationship with yourself. Okay? The beautiful thing about this card is that it reflects emotional balance. Because you've done the inner healing, you're now attracting connections that mirror the love, the respect, and the value that you've begun cultivating within yourself. Okay? So, this is a beautiful message from Spirit today, I think. This reading reminds us that healing isn't about forgetting the past. It's about honoring what we've learned, trusting ourselves again, and staying open to the beautiful new chapter that's waiting to unfold. Okay? So before we close today's reading, I'd like to leave you with a few healing tools that you can incorporate into your week, just to continue supporting your emotional healing and personal growth. Okay? And what I was going to say earlier in the video, I was going to give it to you then, but I saved it for the end. Today I added one little healing tool, or whatever you want to call it. Okay? And so it's just self-care practice, basically. All right? And I'll get to that at the end. But let's start here with the affirmations. Okay? I lovingly release the past, trust my inner wisdom, and welcome healthy, fulfilling relationships into my life. I lovingly release the past, trust my inner wisdom, and welcome healthy, fulfilling relationships into my life. Every day I become stronger, wiser, and more open to the blessings that are meant for me. Okay? You can take a few moments to repeat those affirmations. You could do it a few times a day or write it in your journal this week and notice how it begins to shift your mindset. Okay? So, body movement. This week, you could focus on gentle movement that helps release stored emotions from the body. Some things are like, or some ideas are like a mindful walk in nature, gentle yoga with heart-opening stretches, stretching while practicing slow, deep breathing, dancing to your favorite uplifting music to help you help move the stagnant emotional energy. Okay? The goal isn't perfection, it's just simply allowing your body to release, process, right? What's no longer meant for you to carry, okay? So the week's crystal is rose quartz. Now, rose quartz supports unconditional love, emotional healing, self-compassion, forgiveness, and opening the heart to healthy relationships. Carry it with you, meditate with it, or just simply place it somewhere that you'll see it throughout the day as a reminder to choose love, especially love for yourself. They even sell, they sell it many places, but Amazon, I know for sure, they have rose quartz rings, necklaces, probably even earrings, to be honest with you. I've never looked that up, but I've seen it both ring and necklace. In fact, I have a ring that's a rose quartz, and for the gentleman, you could just get a crystal, rose quartz crystal, and carry it in your pocket. Okay, so let's move into essential oils. This week's essential oil is bergamot. Bergamot is often used to help lift emotional heaviness. It reduces stress, and it encourages feelings of hope and emotional balance. Diffuse it during meditation. Add a few drops to a diffuser, or if you're using a skin safe diluted blend, you can apply it on your skin if you're okay with that, okay? Or just sniff it out of the bottle. Okay, some sound healing. Frequency would be 639 hertz. This is commonly associated with the heart chakra and harmonious relationships. So many people use this frequency during meditation, journaling, or quiet reflection to encourage forgiveness, emotional healing, compassion, and deeper connection with themselves and others. Okay? And the part I'd like to add in this today for this reading is some self-care practice. So you can choose one act of self-love this week that reminds you of your worth. It could be something like taking yourself out for coffee or lunch, spending time in nature, reading a book you enjoy, creating something artistic. Even if you don't know how to paint, you could always go get an easel, and maybe a canvas and some water paints and brushes, and just paint whatever you feel your heart desires. You could call a trusted friend, and just someone you haven't talked to in a while that usually is really upbeat and uplifting, or just simply give yourself permission to rest without any guilt. I know a lot of times we have so much on our plate, and there's so many chores and different things we need to get done and accomplish that we feel guilty for taking a nap, or just saying, you know what, I'm gonna go out today and it's gonna be a me day. I'm gonna take care of myself. But then we feel guilty at the end of the day. Oh my gosh, I should have done this, I should have done that. Now I've got double the amount of work, or whatever it is. Don't let your mind go there. You deserve a day, a self-care practice day, okay? I hope you enjoyed those ideas, those extra ideas that I threw out there for you. Just remember that healing often happens in the quiet moments when we choose ourselves, okay? So that brings us to the end of today's emotional healing and personal growth reading. I hope these messages brought you clarity, encouragement, and a reminder that every step you take toward healing is also a step toward the life and relationships you truly deserve. Remember, healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to the truest version of yourself, the version that has always been worthy of love, peace, joy, and abundance. Okay? So if this reading resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you would like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need this message today. Your support helps this community continue to grow. It really does. And it allows these messages to reach those who need them most. Okay? I'd also love to hear from you in the comments. So give me a shout out down in the comments. Let me know which part of today's reading resonated most, and or just share one thing that you're, choosing to release as you move into your new chapter. Okay, so thank you so much for spending this time with me and for being part of the Sacred Season community, Sacred Season Healing community. Until next time, take gentle care of yourself, trust your intuition, keep choosing your healing, and remember that every season of your life has a purpose, okay? And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.